if you're in any kind of industry, working for any kind of organization where you in any way are involved with new business, developing new business, getting new clients, getting new projects, that's proposal writing. Writing a letter to a prospective client, that's a proposal, yeah.
I have a question. On the PowerPoint that we're supposed to look at today, it says that there's a good example in the book for what proposing is to look like. And I looked through, and there was like 2 or 3, so I wasn't sure which one you were referring to.
Well, here's the thing. Back it up a little bit. What kind of company, industry, whatever you think about working with or for in the future? What do you want to do? What do you want to be?
Oh, me personally?
Yeah.
I'm really not sure.
What's one possibility, like this internship thing?
Well, I interned with the criminal defense lawyers.
Okay. So you're thinking about maybe being a lawyer?
Maybe.
Okay. So if you're thinking about maybe being a lawyer, you are probably not going to be writing traditional proposals, right? Probably not. Because unless you're working for like a nonprofit organization like the, I can't remember what the exact name of the organization is, but the organization that has that hotshot New York lawyer, Dershowitz, I think. But they get states to open old capital punishment cases, to run DNA evidence.
The Innocence Project?
The Innocence Project, there you go. Like if you were working with them, you might be creating proposals. But it's more likely that you'll just be like writing letters to possible clients, right? As part of working in a law office. And like I was just saying, trying to get a new client in through a letter, that's a proposal. Okay? So if you want to practice that, it wouldn't make sense for this project to make a full-blown, really formal, really, like, let's see here, where's the proposal? What is the proposal chapter? I forgot.
I think it's 13.
13? 13. Yes, writing proposals. Okay, so like for example on page 456, chapter 13, there's an example of a full-blown, very formal proposal, like the kind of proposal that like an environmental consulting company would create to send to another company, right? The Waters Corporation appreciates the opportunity to respond to Cookson's request for proposal dated blah, 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 blah. It's kind of a formal, stilted tone. There's probably a good bit of passive voice in here, maybe. But it's got a cover letter. I'm kind of surprised it doesn't have a title page, actually, but it's got an executive summary. It's chopped into multi-page sections. It has some back matter. Like the cover page, the cover letter, the title page, it's what's called front matter. It's just stuff that's in the front. It's not really the main body. And it's like 11 pages long or so. That's not what you're going to be doing as a lawyer if you're a lawyer. Instead, you're going to be writing letters. So there's another example. Proposal. Like on 450, Aerolite Bicycle Supply. As you know, Aerolite makes quality equipment for bicycling, da-da-da-da-da. We are eager to introduce you to our high-quality equipment offered at an affordable price. Please read on! Exclamation point. There's a very different tone there. Because this letter is more like a letter written from one person to another person. So if you are, especially if you're imagining a situation where Augusta, Oregon is like a small town, and you're a small mowing company, this would probably be more like what you would write.
Okay.
Does that make sense? You would probably organize it as a multi-page business letter. Now, it might end up being a pretty long business letter, like, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages even. But organizing it like one continuous letter would make more sense for a more informal approach. It would also make more sense for the type of proposal writing you'd likely be doing in the future if you end up being a lawyer. Does that make sense? So I would practice that. So there are a number of different examples, getting back to your original question. There are a number of different proposal examples in this chapter that cover different sort of writing situations. Like the one on page 440. Internal proposal. Instead of a cover letter, it has a cover memo. Because a memo is what you would send to someone if they were in the same organization. And it has fewer sections. It doesn't have like a bunch of background because it kind of assumes that like we work for the same company, like we don't have to describe our company to each other and stuff like that. It has works cited, which you probably wouldn't put in a proposal going out. So, you know, it's got an example of a very formal internal proposal. It's got an example of a sort of an informal, what would be called a sales proposal. And then it's got an example of a very formal, with front matter and back matter and stuff, external proposal. If I am thinking that I might in the future be working in a field where I will be writing actual proposals, then I would think about practicing creating a proposal organized like the one starting on page 456. However, if I'm thinking about, I think I'm probably going to end up working in a field or with a job where I'm not going to be doing actual proposal writing per se, but I'll be like periodically trying to get in new clients, new business, stuff like that, then I would think about taking the opportunity to define this project, small town, it's just one person, like the mayor who's making the decision, I'm a small company. So in that situation, it would make sense to write a proposal like, sort of like the one on page 450. It's just like a business line. Is that helpful? Cool. So that's one of the reasons why I tried to make the project very flexible so that folks could take the opportunity to fit it to what they want to do for the future. Make it practice. Hopefully that was an answer that was helpful for a lot of other folks. So other questions about this proposal project?